Hey guys, this is the educator author, Danielle Arnold Brown. I am the author of The Golden Nuggets of Teaching, a guide for new teachers. And guys, I have a special treat for you today. I have a special guest joining me who is the founder of the Transformation 7, Tiffany Washington. Hey Tiffany, how's it going?
It's going well, Danielle. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate being here today.
Man, I am so happy. I'm actually excited just to have powerful women, on the show, doing big things, doing positive things out there in the community, doing things to help others be successful. And, I'm a firm believer in helping people to be successful, and, helping them to help them, I guess I say, fulfill their dreams as well. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Now, first thing I want to start with is, can you tell us a little bit more about Transformation 7?
Okay, so Transformation 7 is really all about women. And what I do within Transformation 7 is help career women to stop hating their jobs and start living a life of passion and purpose. And that is done through public speaking, professional speaking, training, workshops, and also through my most current book that I have. So I make sure that women are empowered on the job and in their career so that they can win at work.
That sounds good. I'm going to get back to this book piece here, but I really like what you said, again, helping women and, helping them through their day, helping them through their job, because I'm an educator, and I'm gonna tell you, there are days where it's tough to make it through the minute, and so you have to kind of put yourself, I guess, in different mindsets sometimes to just be able to make it through the minute.
Yes, and I think you hit the nail on the head with that. You have to change your mindset. Because research does show that over 70% of people in this nation hate their job. They hate some aspect of it. And in order for you to make it through days, because some days will be worse than others, you have to change the way in which you look at the trials that you encounter on a daily basis. So you hit the nail right on the head.
That's a bit, you said 70%. There's something about your job. I'm gonna tell you, it's always something about mine. I don't, it's something. But when you deal in the education system and you deal with, it's many different things that may trigger. It triggers you. And I talk oftentimes about just those triggers and knowing your triggers, first of all, and what triggers you. And when you know what triggers you, I think it helps you to know yourself and how to handle situations better. I believe. My thought process.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I agree with you completely. Once you know what your triggers are and you've identified them, then you can figure out what type of coping mechanisms are needed and what you have to put in place in order to best deal with those situations. Because your trigger could be that pesky coworker. Your trigger could be your supervisor or your principal. I used to be an assistant principal, so I was probably the source of somebody's heartache at one point in time. So, I definitely get it, and I understand, people being in and out of your classroom all day, and then they have 15 different pieces of paper they want you to fill out, and you got testing next week.
There
are so many triggers.
You didn't hit all my triggers at one time. Those are all my triggers. And I remember you saying that you do workshops and seminars. Are these some things that you kind of point out? I don't want to give too much because I really want the people to go to your workshop. But are these some of the things that are that you discuss within your seminars and things?
Yes, absolutely. And really, my target audience is educators and former educators and any woman inside of the workplace really that's struggling or dealing with some type of job dissatisfaction. And when I do my workshops, I talk about, how to shift your mindset, how to stop hating what it is that you're doing or hating going to work every day and figuring out how you can find more joy on the job. So I definitely coach people on that. And we also have a lot of people out there that are teachers who are also side hustlers, if you will. They have their own business or they're wanting to add entrepreneurship to the mix of their career entree. And so I help people shift into that piece as well. So really it's about trying to find your happy. Where does your joy reside, and how can I help you to find that place?
Wow. I have a quick question. So what I'm thinking about is there as an educator, is there like one thing that always stands out that people like, I hate my job? Is there one Was it like one that, if you took a survey that just stands out?
Really, it's about the amount of time that people have to spend at work is one that I hear quite frequently. Because people inherently want to do a good job at work. They want to be praised and lauded for their efforts, and they want to make sure that the work that they do is something that can be applauded. However, it's frustrating when you do the best that you can and you're still not getting positive feedback from your superiors or from your supervisors. So that's one piece that I hear constantly. They are not feeling appreciated. They're feeling undervalued, overworked, and underpaid.
Man, you just hit my triggers again. No, no, never. But I mean, but honestly, these are things that I've heard myself and different coworkers, and they talk about that all the time. And I've been as a mentor teacher and trying to help, especially new teachers who are in the field, trying to help them to understand and still be able to work through and almost like your job. So
Right, exactly.
and that's tough. That is tough. So I'm looking forward to going to a seminar now because I really, really, I, I want to hear and be part of the conversation of how to help others. Because again, as a mentor to others, you want to know. I want to know what's really going
Mhm.
on. Because sometimes we become so isolated on our own campus and our own things. So I really want to hear more about that.
Yeah, I definitely want you to come out to a seminar and invite some of your followers and your friends to come. I would love to do a seminar specifically for educators because, like I said, I have a cadre of people who come and visit me at the seminars, but I'd love to do something for educators in general that can speak to the needs of teachers in the classroom because that's where all of the footwork is. And I don't think people really understand how difficult the job is and how far it extends beyond 9 to 5, or in most cases 7:45 or 7:30 until 3:30, 4:30, and then you have to stay there to grade papers and all of the other extra stuff that comes with being a teacher.
That's my trigger again. Because you're staying there. You stay. You know what? This is not about me. This is about you guys. Okay. Again, who I have on the line again is Tiffany Washington. Okay, and she is an author. She is an author of. Let me get it right. Women winning work. Am I correct?
Women winning at work.
At work.
Yes.
Women winning at. I like that. Women winning at work. Can you tell me more about
Yes.
that book and what inspired you to
Yeah.
write that book?
Absolutely. So, Women Winning at Work is a 21-day guide to experiencing spiritual success in the face of workplace difficulty. So, essentially, what it does is it gives you 21 different days of a devotional on what to do when you're feeling overwhelmed, what to do when you're feeling undervalued, what to do when you're feeling ostracized in the workplace. All of those things that we commonly experience on the job is what I share. But I also share my personal story of workplace bullying. And in it, I share how I overcame workplace bullying and what I needed to do in order to get out of that miserable place that I was in. And this happened while I was an assistant principal inside of the field of education. So I talk a little bit about that and how I overcame that through a 21-day fast. So the book came about over the course of 21 days when I was contemplating whether or not to stay inside of education or leave it completely. And so over the course of 21 days, I wrote this guide because I needed something for other women to have because I didn't have it when I was going through my workplace bullying situation. So it's really for people who are experiencing pesky coworkers, bosses who really just boss you around and don't understand the nature of being a leader, and for those people who just have day-to-day troubles. And so that's essentially what the book is about and how it was birthed.
That's awesome. I think that is, I believe that's needed. I believe
Yeah.
that's truly needed. Um, Coming from different backgrounds, and I always say your background can influence your perception of things, the way you interpret some things,
Hmm.
and I believe that that's needed. That's needed, a guide to help people, something quick, a quick reference just to help to give them that piece to push through, that guide, that positive word, or just understand someone else's experience is similar to mine, and to help them to push through. That that
Right.
that is, I think that's key and that's important. And I also think that people don't understand how stressful education is. Oftentimes, people think you're just
Yeah.
with kids. Just okay, you play with them,
Yes.
especially elementary. You play with them, and you send them home. And I wish it was that
Hmm.
easy. I wish it
Yeah.
was. I mean,
And the elements that people don't really understand are the deficits that a lot of our kids come into school with. So especially if you're teaching in an underprivileged or low socioeconomic status area, these kids are reading 2 and 3 grade levels behind. So you're having to lift them up, because I taught in middle school.
mm,
So I was a reading teacher, but they didn't get those foundational skills somewhere along the way. So I'm going back and teaching A makes A and B makes B, because they don't know how to read. And these are real things that teachers deal with on a daily basis. So if you can't read, there are very little things that you can do inside of education to be successful as a child. And think about the amount of stress that puts on teachers to know that, okay, I have to catch this kid up, and I'm getting pressure from my superiors about performance on this test that they have to take.
right.
And it's all of a sudden my responsibility as a classroom teacher to make sure that this student performs up to par. And it may not be possible for me to get them where they're asking me to get them.
Right.
So it's definitely a lot of stress inside of the classroom that people who are not in the field of education, they just really don't understand.
Again, guys, I have Tiffany
Yeah.
Washington on the line, and she's talking about her book, Women Winning at Work. Guys, you need to get it. Can you tell our listeners where they can find your book? How can they get it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the way you can get Women Winning at Work is through Amazon.com. So it's on Amazon.com right now. All you have to do is search Women Winning at Work by Tiffany A. Washington. And you can also find it on my personal website, womenwinningatwork.com. And here shortly, it will be on the front page of my main website, transformation7.com. So you'll have 3 different ways to find Women Winning at Work.
Again, guys, just like she said, you better go to Amazon.com. Women Winning at Work. Again, check her out. This is Tiffany Washington. Again, guys, I thank you so much. Tiffany, tell them where they can follow you. Tell them where they can find you again.
Yes, they can find me on my main site, transformation and the number 7.com. So that's transformation7.com. Sign up for my mailing list. There will be a pop-up there. And with the mailing list sign up, you will also receive a copy of a guide to how to find your passion inside of the workplace. So you can get a freebie once you sign up. And remember to make sure that you go back to your email and make sure that you verify your email so that you can be on my list permanently. And you'll receive weekly motivation from me. You'll see all of my blog posts and any of my video posts, because I do a lot of video interaction as well.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for giving us that information. Thank you for being on the show so much. It has been a pleasure. It has been a great experience having you on the show. You have given us many good tips, I should say good information, things for us to absorb and to help all of us to be successful. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here, and I hope something that I said struck a chord with your listeners so that they can start to get their careers in order. You don't have to remain on a job where you experience so much difficulty that you don't feel like you can function. So I want people to understand that. And if you need help, I am here to help you to get over those workplace trials and hurdles.
Guys, you hear that? You have somebody who can help you, who is willing to help you and extend the olive branch to you. Guys, until next time, I am Danielle Arnold Brown, the educator author. It has been a pleasure. Until next time, peace.